What's going on, guys? This is Damascus and I'm back with a new video. As you can see, Damascus is now an orc. No, it is not a figment of your imagination. I just chose this class because it was better for overall DPS and for PvP. This video is going to go over some of the changes to the specs since Cataclysm 4.06 came out. In addition to showing you some of the changes I made to my spec to still maximize DPS while relocating a point here or there to make your spec a little more PvP friendly. And here we go. Alright, the build is almost identical to what it was before the patch. One minor change is when they nerfed Unholy, they inadvertently buffed the spec that we were using before. And that's they changed virulence to increasing the damage of your diseases by 30% when you put in all 3 points. So if you stick with the old spec that I showed you before, you should do just fine. As for that 9% to spell hit that we used to gain from virulence, well, that's now a passive bonus for all DKs, so you're still going to be spell hit capped. As for the couple of points that were changed, in the spec that I showed you guys before, we had 3 points in Runic Power Mastery. Well, what I did is I just moved 2 points over into Icy Reach. Now, these were points that you could have placed in whatever talent you wanted because they're both freebies. Neither one of them is going to inherently increase DPS. But by selecting Icy Reach over Runic Power Mastery, instead of your Runic Power Mastery, you increase the range of your Icy Touch, your Howling Blast, and your Chains of Ice by 10 yards, which is great in PvP, especially if you're doing arenas. And then as for the 1 point that we have left over, you've got the option of putting it in Chillblains, which I did because that 25% reduction in speed, again, works great, especially when you're dealing with arenas, which is what I do the majority of the time. If you decide that you don't need Chillblains because you're doing just fine with your Death Grip and you don't have a problem with PvP or arenas, that's great. Another great viable option is Lichborn. I'd really either select either Lichborn or Chillblains if you want to put that 1 point into something that's going to help you out PvP rise. Personally, I think that Chillblains is a much better choice from my experience in multiple arenas. You're going to be dealing with a lot of classes that have a lot of different stuns and a lot of different ways to CC you. Death Knights don't seem to have much in that department. So again, if you're not going to go for Chillblains, I definitely go for Lichborn. Because if you're not going to be impairing your opponent's ability to move, you at least need to be able to make sure you can move yourself. Really the only other place that you could put it on this talent tree would be in your On a Pale Horse. And though it seems enticing, especially for leveling or maybe in a battleground for arenas, it's pretty useless. And that's the end of this video, guys. Catch you next time.